exist together, you know. We can do our thing, you know, we can be at peace with one another. So how about we just do it that way, you know? We'll sign an agreement, you have this part of land, I have that part of land, you know. And so the natives, they was like, all right, cool, we'll do it, you know, this sound cool, you sound legit, whatever, whatnot. Come to find out, fast forward to today, you know, the natives is basically living in small prisons amongst they whole land. You know, this is all their land, but they living in small prisons that's known as reservations and stuff like that. You know, where like the highest rate of suicide is, and they predominantly alcoholics. You know, all kind of stuff. They're in a way worse condition than what they was in beforehand. You know, there was a massive genocide on them. You know, over like 99 million Native Americans was exterminated off this land. You know, this whole land. You know, if you could look up a map called I think it was 100 nations, you know, the Native American map. They had this whole United States highly populated, you know, contrary to popular belief. You know, America was highly populated with cities, systems, all kind of things, you know. And Esau came through and pretty much just genocided everything. This wasn't just no bushland and people living in tents and stuff like that, you know. These people use tents like we use tents today when they're going out camping and stuff, because when you go and read the law and stuff, when you got that year of the Sabbath, you know, you can't plant on this field or whatever. So in that year, they would go out in their tents, you know what I'm saying, and set up shop some elsewhere, you know. That's why they had the little tents and the teepees and stuff like that. But they didn't live in tents full time. They had houses made out of like actual structure. You know, you telling me that the Mayans and the Aztecs can build a pyramid out of stone and stone structures and buildings like that, but they you know, they too dumb to live in something like that. They want to live into a little teepee. Come on, man. You got to be out of your mind. Esau just telling you that so he'll look more superior to anybody. But yet he still can't build under the pyramids, you know? And it's funny how those same pyramids with the same designs is over here, just like they are over in Egypt. It's because the same people built them, you know? But, says, jumping back into this in Psalms 55, he put forth his hands against such be at peace with him. He has broken his covenant. Okay? Now that the Dakota pipeline deal, you know, look, we just want to run this pipeline through here. We ain't gonna contaminate your water. You know, you can have this land. Now we got to take the land and run the pipeline through it. It ain't gonna contaminate your deal. First thing first, the shit all contaminated. You know, he break all his little deals. The words of thy mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Look, you can have a peaceful protest and peacefully gather and stuff like this, but then he holds you down and stuff like that. You know, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. You know, as you sit down at your table talking about Thanksgiving, this whole holiday was basically, it was a trophy piece or a landmark, an achievement badge for genocide. That's when they're like, yep, I think we could call this a successful genocide. I think we're pretty satisfied with the mass killing we've been doing, you know. That's pretty much what Thanksgiving is. It's pretty much like an achievement mark, you know, to go back and look upon that, you know. This is Isaiah chapter 33, verse 1. Woe to thee that spoilest, and that was not spoiled, and that dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. Okay? So, you know, speaking again about Esau, like, they came over here and started stealing everything off of this land when the natives didn't steal nothing from you. You know, if anything, they gave to you. They gave you tips. They gave you food. They gave you place to stay. They even gave you pieces of their land to live on. But yet, what you do? You came and took the whole land. You know. It says, "And thou dealest treacherously, and they dealt treacherously not with thee." You know, you over here with the, you know, they over here feeding you and teaching you how to farm and stuff, and what you go to help you survive the winter, and what you go turn around and do, get them blankets with smallpox in them to kill off pretty much all their people. You know. What do? You surround them in like the Battle of Wounded Knee, and you gun them down with pretty much like what will become like a Gatling gun, you know, or what they call a Hotchkiss gun, you know. You basically mow down innocent men, women, and children, and then at the end of all that slaughter, you call out to the little kids and stuff like, look, anybody still alive, come out, you know, we're gonna just take you back and we ain't gonna kill you. And as soon as they start running out, you start killing them all, you know, where you kill their whole villages, mass extermination, where you was paying individuals. You was paying people to go out and murder them, you know, where they get the term Indian scalp from. You was paying for the scalps of these Native Americans, you know. And then you have these mockeries about them today. You have like Cowboys versus the Indians, you know. And I'm pretty sure that's like one of the football games y'all got going on, reenacting your achievement, you know, reenacting what had happened. And then, You know, like I said, you pay money for like Indian scalping and stuff like that. You know, you I mean, you have all kind of wickedness. You know, right down here in Florida, you got like the Seminoles versus the Gators and stuff like that. All kind of wickedness, man. That's you know, you just the Washington Redskins, all these things. You make all these, yeah, like the Redskins. Come on now, think about it. When y'all really the Esau, you named after red because that's what you are. You the real redskin. Native Americans, they different tones of brown. They either light brown or dark brown. They either like they look. Some of them look like me, and some of them just look like Mexicans, so-called Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what basically what they was beforehand. You know, they just different tribes. That's what they look like. You know what I'm saying? They're not red at all. Esau is the so-called red is the red man, not a so-called, but Esau is the red man. That's why his name was, well, he was called Edom, which means red. You know what I mean? Because he wanted after that same red meat, and his ass was red the same way. So his name was changed to Edom. Ashashua means, or Esau means Ashashua, which means wasted away as he lacks skin pigmentation. You know. But back in Isaiah 33, woe to thou that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and that dealt treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, and thou shalt be spoiled, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. And that's what you about to see going on right now. You know, Esau pretty much done stealing all the damn land from the Native Americans and making deals and covenants with them. They pretty much going at ease now. They're like, all right, we about done. You know what I'm saying? We about done with the land grabs. We about done with all of this stuff. You know, we don't need. I mean, how much more Native American land do we need to take? It's like 1% out of you got all these thousands of square miles. Like the natives only got like 4,000 square feet. You know, I'm like, they can have that 4,000 square feet. You know, we could take that next week. We ain't got to push so hard. But like it says here, it says, and when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee. Okay? When thou cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. They're pretty much done taking everything. They still taking a little bit of the native land, like out in Dakota and stuff like that, but they slowing it down. They trying to be peaceful with everybody. Stop all this hate crime, all this hate speech. Let's stop all this genocide and mass killing. Let's stop all this land seizing. You know, that's what they what do you call that? That's what their accusation against ISIS is right now. That ISIS is coming over and doing to their own people in their own land. They stealing land from themselves. You know, this is what they blaming ISIS for. That these Arabs are stealing land from Arabs in the land in which they live in and taking it for themselves and killing folks and converting them over to their little laws. When that's almost pretty much the same thing that these Edomites did. But however, the Edomites didn't conquer their own people in their own land. They went on the other side of the globe and conquered another people in their land, a whole lot more land and everything like that. And then they brought, they brethren over from a whole other side of the globe to come over there and work as slaves as well. You know, the natives were slaves first, but then they brought over the southern kingdom to be slaves as well. And after they came over and stole, the landmass from the northern kingdom and enslaved the southern kingdom and built up and dominated, from their landmass, they went in and conquered the rest of the world and stole everybody else's damn landmass, So, that's just Esau and the shit that he get into, He man, Esau's a damn wicked nigga. But anyway, jumping back to the last script. This Isaiah, this is getting into the Thanksgiving deal, Anyway, this is Isaiah 65, verse 11. But ye are they that forsake the Lord, that forget my holy mountain. Okay? So basically, he's talking to Esau. It's like, look, you the one that forsake. You the one that's like, oh man, to hell with the Most High. To hell with him and his people. It says, and to forget my holy mountain. And so now we know that the Most High, first of all, it's a sin for us to sit there and be worshiping a goddamn mountain. You know what I'm saying? How much more is the Most High going to try to reverence a mountain? It's talking about a group of people, Just like when they're talking about, when they go to the summit meetings and stuff like that, that's what they're talking about. It says, but ye are they that forsake Yahweh, that forget my holy mountain, talking about Israel, the elect, that preparest a table for that troop. Okay, now here's that word troop again. This isn't the word that, Gad is named after. This isn't that word fortune, you know, that prepares the table for that fortune. This is not what that's talking about. This is talking about a military troop, okay? It says, that prepare a table for that troop, that furnished the drink offering unto that number. Okay, what is the number of that troop? It's the seven cavalry. You know, that was the troop that basically came in and rained down on Gad. You know, and jumping back into the book of Genesis. Genesis 49:19, Gad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Okay? Now, this is talking about, that was, Jacob telling him what was going to happen in the future. And then this is what it's talking about, the future prophecy, going further in depth, talking about us today, looking back on the, the prophecy after it didn't happen, but it hadn't happened at this point. That's how cold the Most High is. The Most High told you what was going to happen before it happened. Then he had another person in the future beyond that point where he told you what was going to happen, tell you about the same deal as if it had already happened, and you looking back upon the mess, and it still hadn't happened yet. This is back in the book of Isaiah 65:11. But ye are they that forsake the Lord, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop, that furnish the drink offering unto that number. Okay? Talking about that Thanksgiving dinner, you sitting down having right now. You offering Thanksgiving unto that troop, the 7th Cavalry and the United States, basically the United States Army and government conquering Gad and Rueben, the Native Americans, so-called Native Americans in this land to have this land. This is why you celebrate this whole holiday. This is where it all stemmed from. If you take away the Native Americans out of the picture, you wouldn't have Thanksgiving, If you take the Europeans out of the picture, you wouldn't have Thanksgiving. If you take this here landmass out of the picture, you wouldn't have Thanksgiving. So those three, and if you take out murder and genocide, you wouldn't have Thanksgiving. So this whole holiday is set up and predicated around, two groups of people, the Edomites and the Israelites, but Gad and Reuben and the 10 tribes over here is predicated around them two people, and the Edomites basically genociding them for this land. If you take any of those components out, there's no structure, nothing to build Thanksgiving off of, But it says, but ye are they that forsake the Lord, that forget my holy mountain. On Thanksgiving, you forgetting about the atrocity and the genocide that happened to the Native Americans. You celebrating they mass murder right now. Living it up with your family, having that, and that Thanksgiving Day dinner is a ritual, the Native Americans wore what on their headdress, they wore turkey feathers, This is why you have that food of choice. That whole meal is a ritual, You got the turkey, and because they wear the turkey feathers on their headdress, Then any time of the year you buy a damn turkey, they don't really have the guts inside the turkey in a damn bag, And just think about that. Somebody then took this turkey, took the guts out the turkey, put the turkey's guts in a bag, and then put the shit back in the turkey. Somebody. You know how much work that shit is? You could have just took the guts out and threw it in the trash can. Boom, good. But instead you take them out and you put them in the bag. Now, you could have put the damn bag in the trash can, because you already did one extra step, but that's too much. Not only that, you didn't tie the bag the fuck back up, and then from there you could have left it, threw it in the trash can, but you put it back in the turkey. So this is something that somebody's purposely doing. This ain't nothing that, what I'm saying, it was more convenient for us to just leave the guts in the turkey. You could have just, alright, if that was the case, why the fuck it's in the bag then? You purposely took the guts out, put it in the bag, and put it back in the turkey, So, when you're having this here meal, you're taking this here turkey, you're going to take his guts out, alright, and then you're going to restuff them with something that's going to make it look more presentable to you, And this is what basically Esau was his ritual and his remembrance of what he did to Gad, He took you you so-called Native American Indians, and also the other tribes too, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native, you other 10 tribes, He did this to you as well. But since we in the midst of what they call Thanksgiving, we talking about Gad and Reuben right now. But in the Indian boarding schools, he took you from your natural form, and he cut you open and took your guts out, your culture, your heritage out. He took all of that out from you, and then he stuffed you with that Edomite agenda, and now you call yourself Native Americans, you call yourself Americans, you call yourself whatever. You call yourself Mexicans and all kind of other crazy stuff. You know, you're not a so-called a Gadite or a Reubenite no more. You run from those type of things. You know, a lot of you do. You know, and so you know, and this is really what happened to all of our tribes. But you know, we actually have a holiday here in America where they celebrate the genocide of the, you know, the Native Americans, and they give you that meal as a ritual. You know, and one more thing on that ritual: when you stuff the bird, you stuffing it with stuffing. You know, and that what do they call that? That cranberry stuff. That I can't think of the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about. That little red stuff, right? So basically, they take the guts out, and then you giving them back like some artificial guts, some artificial life, along with some bread like type of deal to, you know, to with the yeast in it to make it kind of grow and expand. They basically trying to take out your old soul and put in a new one, and then have you grow into be into that, you know. And so when you have this meal, it's a ritualistic meal that you having, you know. The whole thing is basically it's a satanic ritual, you know. You make a mockery and you basically worshiping and glorifying and thanking basically Esau and the devil for murdering the children of the Most High. That's what you're doing when you're having that meal, you know. We taking this turkey, we're going to cut it up, carve it all up, and we're going to share pieces of his body. We're going to take spoils from it. We're going to all, you know, rip them apart, and we're going to all basically gain or profit from this one, from what he had. We're going to take what he had and split it all up amongst us all, you know. And we're going to also take this here bird, and we're going to take his guts out, you know, and restuff them with what we think is presentable, you know. But reading back in Isaiah 65, verse 11, but ye are they that forsake Yahweh, that forget my holy mountain. Okay, you forget the atrocities that happened with the Native Americans, you know, over 90 million Native Americans that was murdered over here in this land. That prepare a table for that troop, okay? You're making that Thanksgiving Day dinner right now, sitting down right now with that Thanksgiving Day dinner right now for what the 7 Calgary did to Yahweh Shem Yahushai's chosen people, you know, the Gadites and the Reubenites. And then it says, they forget my holy mountain. You know, oh, it's just Thanksgiving, you know, it's a tradition we have here. It's how, yeah, but you forgetting the Most High people that died at the hands of this just so you can have this holiday, you know. And these ain't my words, this ain't me and my own feelings. It's the Lord's words before this shit even happened. He told you how your ass was going to be doing before this even happened. You know, when Isaiah is speaking about this, they didn't even have a Thanksgiving at that point in time. America wasn't even thought about at this point in time when Isaiah writing this. But like I said, he further expounded on a prophecy that was written way before he was even thought about. But he's speaking on it as it's already done happened. He looking back at it, you know. He's talking about, he looking at us right now in this day. He looking at your the prophet Isaiah. This just hit me. The prophet Isaiah. See, I'm super stoked about it. I'm over here tripping over my words. The prophet Isaiah, okay, was brought until today. Today, Lord, I mean, you know, through the Spirit, I don't know what day exactly, but it could have been this day right now that the Lord brought Isaiah in the Spirit to this day, right here, right now, to one of you motherfuckers' dinner table, and showed him this, and showed him what they would be doing, you know, so he could write it down, so you could be getting this lesson right now. You at a table right now with that damn turkey, carving it all up, and Isaiah's like, what the fuck are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? He didn't even understand or see the atrocity that would even happen with the Native American Indians, the so-called Native American Indians, the Gadites and the Reubenites. Okay, he didn't even see all of that at that point in time because, like, you know, they ain't even nowhere near even getting it. Like, hell, you don't even have basically like Rome and all that stuff coming. Like Yahushua hadn't even came yet, so it was a long ass time. You know what I mean? Before the so-called natives would be brought back up, before they would even have a chance to get annihilated, for him to even see this. You know, the Most High brought Isaiah more than likely to, you know, this day right here today to show, you know, what would be happening so he could write this down, man. The Most High is beautiful. Call halal Yahweh Shem Yahushua for that, man. But reading back on, it says verse 12. Let me go back up. But ye are they that forsake God, ye are they that forsake Yahweh, that forget my holy mountain, and prepare a table for that troop, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. Okay, y'all out there drinking, pouring up your little nice stuff, getting nice, sitting around the little fireplace, eating your turkey and your collard greens and your black-eyed peas and whatever else the fuck y'all eating, with your little sweet potato pies and shit like that. And you got your little Hennessy all laid back. You know what I'm saying? You over here living it up for that. You know what I'm saying? For the Thanksgiving Day. You know? and for, for further edification for, any of you new brothers coming in, if that's still a stumbling block unto you, you shouldn't be partaking in none of those holidays, and stuff. You shouldn't be partaking in any of these holidays anyway, especially once you find out what these things are about, But some of you seasoned veteran men that's been in this thing for a while, it's like, all things are lawful for us, but, you gotta think about certain things in certain perspectives, At the end of the day, it's just regular food. There's nothing really special about that food because you can buy turkey, 365 days of the year, But it's the point of when you going into it for, I give an analogy, cars, anybody can have it. There's nothing wrong with having a car, you got to get from point A to point B, you got to get around. But something becomes wrong when you start worshiping your car, You want to put, I seen a video the other day of some guy, he was so much in the damn drifting his car sideways, he was getting married, and him and his buddy going through all the town drifting his car, and he drifting with his wife, and everything was all about drifting. I'm like, this nigga paying more attention to the damn car and him drifting than his wife. He should have married the car instead, That's where getting into that is becoming, going off in wickedness, So you got to understand what you in it and you dealing with it for. Like I said, yeah, a car can be used for transportation. I got to get from point A to point B. What's wrong with that? So like, the scriptures also say, if possible, be at peace with all men, Let's say you live at home with your family and stuff like that. You can't quite, you can't quite help that you live at home, And your family's cooking this Thanksgiving Day dinner, If you got it in your mind that you, like, vexed about that shit, like, man, this shit wicked, and I don't want to partake in this and that. You might have to go step out, go do what you got to do, to get yourself in a better place. But, however, it's not nothing wrong. You don't want to be over righteous. Like, nah, I ain't finna cuss your parents out. Nah, fuck that. I ain't eating that. Nah, you don't want to do all that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you kind of older in this truth, you just understand. You understand all the wickedness behind this. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with eating that food. Like you can eat some. It's like on so-called Christmas. We all know we ain't supposed to be partaking into that. But somebody walk by, try to give you a gift, some coworker or your job, or somebody give you like a Christmas card or something like that. You take that shit. All right, thanks. Boom. Keep it fucking moving, But you want to stop there at your job and they trying to give you a Christmas. They handing everybody Christmas cards, It's you getting your paycheck and they handing you a Christmas card with it. Nah, fuck that. I don't want to take that Christmas card. I don't believe in this Christmas. This shit is of the devil. Y'all Edomites, y'all going into slavery. Nah, you being way over righteous and you going way off with that, That's definitely a stumbling block unto you. So like I said with this Thanksgiving Day deal, like, it could be a stumbling block into those, like for me, I mean, I don't even think about it. I had to be reminded it was Thanksgiving Day coming up, but you know what I'm saying? If somebody was like, hey, well, a lot of people actually would ask me that, but I'm like, no, I don't celebrate the, genocide or certain things like that. You know what I'm saying? If they ask me to explain why I don't, but on the most part, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with going by somebody's house. If I was to happen to be just riding by and stopping by somebody's house, and hell yeah, they got an abundance of some food, you know what I'm saying? But like, well, shit, I get a plate. Matter of fact, if I happen to go by somebody else's house tonight, you know what I'm saying? Because most things are closed, I got to eat. It's like having that car. Like, I'm going to go stop by, give me a plate. I know y'all got an abundance of food. Y'all going to give me some food anyway. Why not? You know what I'm saying? But it's not like, oh, I want to go celebrate in the Thanksgiving Day spirit, and go, like in Christmas. Oh, we want to go put up the Christmas trees and sing whatever your little Christmas carols are and do. Hell no, that ain't the spirit you're supposed to be in. It's a spirit with all of that, But you can receive a gift, you know what I mean, without being in a so-called spirit. Somebody can hand you something and you just take it and keep it moving. When you go and putting up a tree and decorating your house, you going off with that. But it says, verse 12, therefore, jumping back into this, and drug on. Verse 11 again. But ye are they that forsake the Lord, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop, that furnish the drink offering unto that number. Therefore I will number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear. But did evil before my eyes, and did choose that word when I delighted not. Okay? So this is talking about the Lord's people. Actually, this here is talking about the Lord's people, because Esau gonna do Esau. The Most High ain't really worried about Esau like that, because he created him to be a reprobate. That's what the fuck he's supposed to be doing, is being a reprobate. But it says, therefore I will number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter, because when I called ye did not answer. Okay, he's not calling no Edomites, but he's calling the children of Israel right now, to stop celebrating these holidays. Come out of her, my people, so you be not partakers of her punishments, basically saying, And so the Most High finna bring down judgment on America for Thanksgiving, the slaughter of the Gadites and the Reubenites. They can't forget, they can't so-called repent, more or less, to say. It says, because when I called, ye did not answer. Okay, the Most High, again, is not calling no Edomites to repentance, to come back. He's not calling Edom to come out of Babylon. Nah, he said it and he purposed it. It's not, his words don't come back void, It says, but I called and you did not answer. When I spake, you did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. And I know for a couple years now, it's been going through the mainstream and on different outlets that, how evil this holiday is, and people should stop celebrating it. But yet our people still is into it, Everybody else doing it. We got to get into the spirit. It's for the kids. It's for this. It's for that. We got to cook. It's just, it's just another day. I'm thankful for my family. You should be thankful for, thankful to the Most High every day about all things, not just a certain day that somebody else remind you of, And, you eat pretty much every damn day else anyway. So, like, what's the point? Why can't you just eat any other day, like every other day, and just be thankful every day instead of just that one day that Esau, because like I said, if you take away the Native Americans, this land, the Europeans, the Edomites, you know what I'm saying, and murder out of it, you don't have this holiday no more, But closing out, it says, therefore thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, behold, my servant shall eat, but you shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but you shall be ashamed, Just throwing that in there as an extra little bonus, That's talking about in these end times when we going through Jacob's trouble and the famine and all of those things, The Lord said, my servant's going to eat. Why? Because, look, we followed his law, statutes, and commandments. We came out of Babylon. We didn't want to partake in her judgment, We didn't want to partake in her wickedness, so we're not going to partake in her judgment. We's not feasting in his fucking feast day right now that the Most High don't delight in it and he abhors. We're not trying to piss him off right now. So when it's come time to him to bring down his judgment, he going to take care of us, In times like this, when everybody else and they follow you and enjoy and happy and having and feeding their face right now, living it up. Most of us, what are we doing? We staying in the spirit, thinking about the Most High and putting out videos, thinking about our brother and trying to edify each other right now, We eating this way, we stacking up these type of treasures. So when it's time to go through that Jacob's trouble, you know what I'm saying? We didn't store away certain food for certain things while everybody else was out there being greedy, just eating up all their wickedness. Now they reaping of that wickedness. We just stored up some dry good food, and so now when all the power and shit go out, we got our dry goods we can eat because we've been storing it up the whole time. Right now they out there doing they follow. We over here doing what we doing now. You know what I'm saying? We storing up that spiritual food bank. That's gonna prolong us in those days. But Lord, this video was edifying. We at the 1 hour mark. But hey, look, Thanksgiving Day special. You get to learn about, the true Thanksgiving in the scriptures and how the Most High feel about it. And if the Most High feel that way about it, you should feel the same way if you want to be on his side. And and like it says here, my servant's gonna eat. Hey, you might be getting full right now, but it ain't gonna be much more longer before, you're gonna be out there starving, and the Most High, he gonna be like, look, remember all them Thanksgivings you was eating that damn meal that was celebrating the genocide of my people? Now as you see my people sitting over here eating all of your food while I'm genociding all of y'all wicked ass people, that's gonna be the beauty of it. Behold, the Lord will not be mocked. That a man sowed, that so also he shall reap. You reap what you sow. You planting up this wickedness, you're gonna reap of that wickedness. But you planting up spiritual food or spiritual prosperity or longevity, you got your spiritual investment, you're gonna reap of that investment. You didn't invest into a good stock in the stock market, and cha-ching, stock market cashed out, you're gonna be balling. You know what I'm saying? Well, roughly paraphrasing it all. But with that, Lord willing, this video was edifying. I'm not quite sure if we got any more sunlight and get into that national park, but if so, Lord willing, we're gonna have another video come out, and we're gonna just kind of do a little walk around that park and show some signage. With that, I want to say all praise to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And salutations to you, I can pushing this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth. Shalom.